Montreal has been chosen as the site for the World Exhibition of 1967. In the streets and in executive suites, you hear the question, what do you think of Expo 67?
Ça va faire bien d'argent. Ça va en coûter aussi.
It'll make lots of money. It'll cost a lot, too.
C'est une bonne chose pour le pays.
A good thing for the country. Sir, what are your views on Expo 67? He says Expo 67 will be a new gold rush. A new gold rush. And who will be the prospectors? A prospector is a man with a strong back, and a pack, and a pick, and a shovel, and a sharp eye for anything that gleams. A prospector is a man who digs and dreams. At Place Ville-Marie, headquarters of Expo 67, they dig and dream in air-conditioned offices.
I have accepted the challenge of presenting in a world exhibition a new tendency which has appeared in the last year, pointing to the greater interdependence of man. We have chosen as main theme of our exhibition, man and his world. And we intend, under this general subject, to approach a number of problems, such as man and the polar regions, man and space, man and the sea, man the producer, man the creator, meaning fine arts, man and city, and so forth. This might be a dream, but I think it's time that we start dreaming in our world of realities. All the more so that the younger generations are disappointed more and more with realities and expect from us something new.
One of the things that we do as a matter of course, you can't help it, I guess, is try and look for similes, for parallels in order to describe the size, this concept of Expo 67. Certainly among ourselves, it is so big and so unprecedented that it's comforting to have something to relate it to. And in our minds, certainly mine and many other people's, one of the things it really relates to is the great Klondike gold rush. That was probably the, as you know, this was an instance where people, a couple of prospectors got an idea there might be gold in them there hills, and they went poking around in the streams, and they found a few nuggets, and then they hit this fantastic load of nuggets. They came out with their gold, and the rumors started to fly, and then they came out with their gold, and the rumors broke. There'd been a lot of scoffing. Only the 2 or 3 of them were interested, and then by the time they appeared and showed that their vision was actually going to maybe be a reality, all of a sudden everyone was interested. The news first of all gathered everyone from that end of the country, and then it spread eastward across Canada and into the old world, and all of a sudden everybody wanted to come and make their fortune at the Klondike.
Here will rise the pavilions of more than 50 nations and of the industrial participants, the startling creations of the world's boldest architects. year 450 BC, the philosopher Empedocles said that with fire, water, earth, and air, you could create anything you dreamed of. In May of 1964, such problems were being left to the engineers.
Even engineers love to dream, and here on the site of the 1967 World Exhibition in Canada is a place where an engineer's dream can come true. Because here the city of Montreal is preparing the site on a new island called Ile Notre Dame, and off on beautiful St. Helens Island, which is being extended at both ends to create additional land to be part of the exhibition. The work is being done by dredges and by trucks. The trucks are going by at an average rate of one 40-ton load every 23 seconds. And the dredges are working at the rate of 70 truckloads per hour, 24 hours a day. The result of all this is that these islands will be handed to us at the exhibition on the 1st of July of this year, 1964. And then our dream of being able to build a city on this spot will come true.
And in just a few minutes' time, at midnight, the 1st of July will be here, and the Mayor Jean Drapeau, will turn over the site to the Commissioner General.
The milestone we mark tonight is the achievement of a great team of men, from engineers to truckers. With ingenuity and with boldness, they met head-on the monumental challenge that was entrusted to them. In coming here tonight, you salute these men individually and collectively. Their contribution, sweeping aside the pessimism of skeptics, serves a spark to those who now must take up a new challenge. Their dedication is a sign of their faith that Montreal cannot, that Montreal will not be shackled by lack of imagination. To each and every one of them, my most sincere thanks.
Down in old Montreal, a young man saw our microphone. What do you think of Expo67? Translation. He said, it reminds me of Mount Everest and the man who had to climb it because it was there.
The site has been admitted by everyone concerned to be a most beautiful one, and here in our offices on the 23rd floor of the Place Ville-Marie in Montreal, we have a magnificent view of the islands. The entertainment section is going to be on the northern part of St. Helens Island. Here we will have the nightlife, the cabarets, the Ferris wheels, the amusements, and big shows of that nature. People to have a good time. And believe me, we'll have every type of entertainment that you can possibly have, from the most cultural and artistic performing arts down to the most popular. Even the Beatles, or whoever the Beatles of 1967 are, we'll have them.
Expo67 will have 30 million visitors. That means there are bridges to be built to bring them to the city and the site. There's the Expo Express line to be carried over the river, and a subway to be run beneath it. There must be broader highways and heliports and new hotels. The deadline is April 28, 1967. The deadline will be met. Every job is on schedule. What's behind it? Something inspired labor and management to reach a harmony in order to avoid strikes on Expo projects. Something inspired corporations to hand over good vice presidents. Something inspired citizens to turn their city inside out. What's behind it? An idea. The insistence that Expo has a mission. Commodore O.C.S. Robertson is coordinating exhibits on the Expo theme, Man and His World.
People say, what will this exposition accomplish? Great expositions of the past have accomplished changes in the way we live, the way society works. The Crystal Palace, the Paris Exposition, the Eiffel Tower brought in a new technology. We wouldn't be standing here on the 33rd floor of Place Ville Marie if the Eiffel Tower hadn't been built. Now, people have various ways, or nations have various ways of accomplishing technological advances. One of the means that we've used in the past, rather stupid way, is war. Technology has always improved as a result of wars. Societies have changed. Now, frankly, I'm a retired naval officer, but I think this is a hell of a stupid way of producing an advancement in society. Perhaps this expo, if we're smart enough, if we're imaginative enough, will not only point out the problems of our time, but may suggest some of the solutions to them, how we can form a better society.
That's the inspiration behind Expo 67. And inspiration is followed by creation. The artist can take iron and make it express the spirit of his world. Expo will tell the story of man, the creator of sculptures and symphonies. Man, the explorer of stars and cells. Man, the producer of power and pizza. Man and the community. Man and his world. Montreal is digging a subway to take the people to the islands. Other cities might wonder what to do with all that earth. How convenient that Montreal has islands to make bigger. So the trucks go out to Saint-Hélène. Napoleon Saint-Hélène was in the Atlantic, but that's beside the point. Of course, Napoleon did say, 40 centuries look down upon you. He did say, just tell them you were there and they'll hail you as a hero. But that's beside the point too, isn't it?
One of the things that is exciting, right now, we're beginning to get a fairly substantial trickle of people who are interested in being part of Expo. They have ideas. This is going to grow, we know, into a flood. We know that we will be getting upwards of 1,000 or more requests a week at peak time for people who want to participate, who have ideas they either want to give us to be used or to sell to us or to get concessions to use.
Vous avez téléphoné à un secrétaire d'espace
pour vous montrer le dessin c'est une idée, l'idée d'une voiture fantastique qui serait prétexte à beaucoup d'artistes et techniciens un peu du monde entier à travailler, à exécuter. Le tout, c'est que il y aurait 1 an de travail et il faudrait que ces gens aient un certain esprit fantastique.
Oh, what about the size of this monster? I hope you don't mind my calling it a monster. I'm speaking of the length. You know, the length, the power. What about it?
Big monster. It will be,
really?
3,000 of power.
3,000.
Well, we have.
Stupefying. Go on. How much? What about the length? How long from end to end?
I think about 25 inches.
25 inches? No, 25 feet.
Yeah. 25 inches as a toy.
Pourquoi avez-vous pas demandé aux gens de Paris ou de France, de la France?
Parce que j'ai pas peut-être assez trouvé de fous en France. Alors j'espère trouver en Amérique. Alors le tout, c'est de trouver le fou qui veut réaliser.
Oui, fou et riche.
Fou et riche. C'est ça. Et qui en même temps deviendrait encore plus riche grâce à cette voiture.
Oui.
It sounds far-fetched, but we have no idea. As a matter of fact, it's got just the right touch of lunacy and human nature mixed up together to make a really exciting possibility.
The dreamers come because they know that Expo is the place where dreams are facts to be. What will it all look like? Wait and see. Who can predict inspiration or discovery? Who could have predicted habitat? Habitat, a new form of city community. It will stretch out along Mackay Pier, which links the Expo grounds with downtown Montreal. Its architect is Moshe Safdie. He had an idea. He brought it to Expo. Expo will have it built. This is high-density city housing with the space and privacy of country living. Hundreds of private homes, each with terrace and garden. Some people say it's impossible. The same people said the same thing about the new islands.
I think the only justification, moral justification to a world exhibition in which billions and billions of dollars are invested is that it is of a direct benefit to the economy, to the intellectual development of its time and so on. They act as catalysts. They accelerate things. And I believe that Expo 67, the exhibition in Montreal, in allowing habitat to be built, is acting as a catalyst, because the ideas that we are concerned with here are not unique to us. They are taking place everywhere, whether it's in Japan or whether it is in France or whether it is in the Middle East. Architects are concerned with the problem. Architects are working on the problems. But there is that time lag between the ideas and the time in which they're realized. And the exhibition here is making it possible to realize these ideas, physically realize them, where otherwise it may take 20 or 30 years for the economy to adjust itself to make it possible. And I think if the exhibition in Montreal does that not only in the case of Habitat, but does it in the case of its other exhibits, its theme exhibits, the national pavilions, and it's difficult to say today what at the end would be the most important contribution, then it would have served its purpose.
Expo responds to its times, to the men of its times. Expo changes as it grows. And when somebody brings a good idea, in it goes. The islands are ready. Ready for the idea that's a little bit bolder and steals the show. You can climb Montreal's new towers and look out toward the islands to watch the gold rush. Or you can get down there yourself. There's still room for prospectors with vision. If you stake your claim today on a piece of Expo Earth, who knows what it may be worth in 1967.